So here we are on September 10th, 2012. I am in my 2007 Toyota Tundra, manufactured in September of 2007. I have 53,000 miles. I'll turn on the key there to verify, and there you can see 53,111 miles on this vehicle. This vehicle has been back to the Toyota dealership here in Olympia probably at least 6 times. 3 or maybe 3 times of that they've actually put on the work order that I had an issue about the transmission. I've mentioned it every time I've been in for service. They rarely write everything down on the service order, which kind of makes it hard for record keeping. But I do have documentation that as far back as having about 32,000 miles on it, it's been in there for an issue with the transmission. And the issue with the transmission is that when you start this vehicle up in the morning, and it's especially when it's cold outside, and put it into gear, it takes just sometimes a couple of seconds, and I've had it go up to 8 or 9 seconds before it actually goes into gear and starts to move the vehicle. So I am going to back off the view here just a little bit, so you'll be able to see out the windshield, and you'll be able to tell when I start this vehicle up and I put it into gear just how long it takes for it to actually start to move. So here we go. Foot on the brake, starting the engine, and I am now putting it into reverse. And today it took off fairly quickly, but it's only set since yesterday, since last night. And sometimes the issue is it sets for 2 or 3, 4 days at a time, and when I put it into gear, it really doesn't want to go. So I'll check back in later. We'll give this another shot in a few more days, and next time I have an opportunity for this vehicle to set, I drive it all the time. So next time it has an opportunity to set over a weekend, we'll film it and see what happens. Here we are once again. It is Tuesday, September 11th, 2012. I'm in my 2007 Toyota Tundra. I'm getting ready to start it and see if the transmission is going to slip when it goes into gear, as it often does when the temperature is cold outside. Especially, you'll notice here that the temperature is 45 degrees this morning. So, and you'll notice that the truck is cold. The first thing I'm going to do here is try to get me a reference so we can kind of see the horizon off of the hood there. And I'm now going to start the vehicle and put it into gear. Trying to find a better reference. It's dark outside. Okay, here we go. Vehicle started, putting it into reverse, and waiting. My foot's off the brake, it's going nowhere. Now it's starting to creep away. Okay, exactly what I've been telling the dealer has been going on for 21,000 miles, and here we go. So the vehicle just barely engages, but it just creeps. You can give the throttle. I have at times given it throttle 2 or 3 times, and then it finally does a full engagement and drives away. So there's verification of what this thing does, and this is about 50 miles or maybe 100 miles since I got it back from the dealer last, and they tell me there's nothing wrong. I'm signing off here. Have to head out to work. Good morning. It's September 12th today. It's a Tuesday. It's 5:59 a.m. Getting ready to leave for work. I'm going to show you once again. I'm going to start my vehicle, my 2007 Toyota Tundra, up with 53,124 miles on it. And what you're going to see is after I start it and I put it in gear, it may creep just a tiny bit, but before it actually engages and will start to go away on its own power, is probably going to take a few seconds. Might take a little longer since it's cold. This is an ongoing thing, been happening since I purchased this vehicle used at 31,000 miles. It's been to the dealer at least 5 times for the same thing. And the dealer keeps telling me, oh, there's nothing wrong with this. Sometimes this vehicle will set for 2 or 3 days without me driving it. I'll get in it, and this delay might happen for 8 or 9 seconds. Sometimes I can throttle the accelerator up and down 2 or 3 times, and the truck will go nowhere, and then it'll finally just creep into gear and take off. So let's see what happens this morning. You're watching the horizon over the dashboard, so you can see how quick this thing starts to move when I shift it into gear. So I'm starting the vehicle and foot on the brake, releasing, putting into gear, and now it's starting to go. Okay, that's it for today. So once again, we're out here in my 2007 Toyota Tundra with 53,158 miles on it on Friday, September 14th, 2012, getting ready to do a cold start in the morning and a drive away, and see if we have a delay or not in the shift of the transmission going into gear. Normally we'll see just a really soft type of kind of feels like it's engaging, but it doesn't do anything with this creep, and then it takes off and it goes. And sometimes it just doesn't want to go anywhere at all. Kind of dependent on where the debris stuck at inside the transmission at the time, I guess. And the only place debris is coming from is from where inside the transmission, which really shouldn't be happening at 53,158 miles, nor the 32,000 miles where I first reported this as being a problem. So here we go with our start, and a little bit of a focus on the horizon so you can see when this moves away. By the way, that's my Jeep up there. I just went out and purchased. I opted for the Jeep instead of the Toyota Highlander because the service, and I just can't trust the Toyota dealer to take care of my vehicles correctly. So starting and shifting into reverse, and now it starts. So kind of a soft shift, but once again, temperatures are not that cold just yet, and I didn't get home from work last night till about 8:30, so I didn't have as cold of a long of a cold soak as I usually do. It's September 16th, Sunday morning. It's about 9:25 a.m. Getting ready to drive away in my Toyota Tundra, 2007, 5.7 liter with the automatic. It's been up to the dealer numerous times for an issue with slow drive away when you engage it in drive or reverse on a cold start. So the temperature this morning is 50 degrees. We are at 53,253, and we are doing a cold start. And you can kind of keep your eyes on the RPMs here a little bit, and I'm going to start the vehicle up, putting it in gear. Our drive away is okay this morning. You never know. Really intermittent. Started and in gear and going nowhere. Now we are finally going. This is what it does several times a week. So probably debris blocking open a check valve, allow the transmission fluid to drain back from the torque converter. And anybody with any automotive expertise and knowledge would know that you only get debris in a transmission when you get wear. especially in a transmission where you have a sealed unit like these Toyota transmissions are, where you can't even check the fluid. So I'm an ASE certified master automotive technician. I'm probably highly qualified to make these opinions and judgments on my own stuff and on customer cars. I was in the automotive industry for 20 years as a technician. I've been teaching in the automotive industry for the last 18. And what we're looking for here is a real slow, lazy engagement going into gear when I start the car, and then when I shift it into reverse or I shift it into drive. In today's case, I'll be shifting it into reverse to back out. If you take a look here, you can see that we are at 53,355 miles, and you can see that we are at about 50 degrees this morning at 6:02. And we're going to keep an eye on the horizon. I'm now starting the vehicle, and I'm reaching down, putting my foot in reverse, and you can see nothing. Now we go. So once again, second morning in a row, it's been a pretty lazy drive away. It starts to engage, and then you just have nothing happens, and you just kind of sit there, and then it slowly takes off and you start to move, which is typical of what's been happening for the last 20-some thousand miles since I've owned it and been taking it into the dealer and with this issue, and they just keep denying there's anything wrong. And what we'll probably see is I'll start it, I'll put it into gear, the vehicle will slightly move and then just wait, and then it'll take off and go. I've always had my foot off of the brake on this, release the brake as soon as I put it into gear, and just waited. But it should go away at 1,000 RPMs. It should go away, or it should start moving immediately. It doesn't. It's just like something's restricting the movement of the vehicle, and it's not engaging the transmission fully. Here we go, starting up, foot on the brake, grabbing the gear shift lever, putting it into reverse, releasing the brake, and it engaged fairly quickly today, but it was still a little bit of a lag, maybe a half of a second or so this morning, which is that might be somewhat normal. What it usually does is not. Check again tomorrow. Cold start drive away, 53,473 miles, September 27th, 2012, on my 2007 Toyota Tundra. Looking for a lag in movement as I start the vehicle up and put it in gear. Vehicle started, foot on the brake, in reverse, and nothing. Now we're starting to go slowly. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the way it usually does it. Starting the vehicle, foot on the brake, into reverse, foot off the brake, and there we go. Just sitting here, and now we're starting to creep away. Waiting some more, still waiting. Now we're starting to move.